Hello, good evening. Hey, Sissy. Hey, 1EQ. Hello. Thank you for moderating, sweetie. How y'all doing this evening? I hope everybody's Thursday went well. I know mine did. Um, we're gonna have a real conversation right now about ongoing spiritual warfare. Okay. And a lot of people have these crazy ideas, and they can sometimes make false promises to clients. I'm not trying to talk about nobody else's practice though. I'm not. Some people will try to sell death magic, uh, as if it is some kind of one and done type of situation. But in reality, I could only paralyze an ongoing enemy for 10 grand. I could paralyze them. Um, but anything other than that, it's kind of like pointless. And unfortunately, we've got people with borderline personality, cluster B, uh, personality disorders, and they, you're dealing with an ongoing spiritual war. Okay. Hey, Christian. Hey. Um, and so, you know, uh, it's when it goes on and on and on. It's when a person just doesn't stop. And then especially if you have a family issue, family bloodline curses are going to naturally attract mighty enemies because people talk. People have loose lips. Okay. If you have a bad family, you know, it can exacerbate that situation. Okay. If you don't have a good family unity, but, sometimes it doesn't matter. You may run into a person that has a serious problem with letting go of things, and then it turns into weeks or months or years, not even weeks, months, years, sometimes, of back and forth slinging shit at one another. And so that's why my spirits came up with the 1111 concept. The way that we're doing it is to where you will be deflecting those things in advance. And it's nothing that they can do about it. People that don't know how to let go, there's a ritual, there's a couple of rituals that you can do, very simple, that people can choose to do to stop the spiritual warfare going back and forth. Um, Typically, if it's a legitimate spiritual warfare, a person is not going to have to call up to your job. You just going to get fired. Okay. But, that happens as well because, but it'll unfortunately turn into a spiritual warfare. And before I continue this discussion, if y'all could hit that thumbs up, thank you. And I want to do a quick disclaimer. I am the owner 100% of Divine Services and Divine Services Apothecary. I am not a part of any association with anybody. There's no scams, there's no schemes, there's no get up, there's no setup with me. I help real people with their spiritual issues. I don't use people in social media for advertising. I'm not with anybody trying to make something look like something, because as someone that has battled with negative spirits, like sometimes every day, okay, and it usually doesn't take all that yelling and screaming and cursing. Sometimes it does. It depends on what spirit you're dealing with. Some of these spirits, like there's a couple of negative spirits that you do have to cuss out. They don't respond to anything except for curse words. But otherwise, I don't have any association to make nothing look like nothing. I'm just giving y'all the raw deal here, because many of y'all do factually have spiritual wars with people that have been attacking you for upwards to sometimes it can be 20 years. And those people at any moment, they can choose to let it go. They can cut the cord. They can throw some salt. They can end the negative cycle, but they choose not to. They choose to stay in a dark, negative place. And it just is what it is. And what can you do? You can protect yourself. I know that these warding bottles have been really good doing the wards and stuff. That is to ward off things and intentions and spirits or energy that may get directed at you or your family. It's not, I don't think that people should, I think people have been doing this from the beginning, hating witchcraft, but even, I mean, most of the people that are unhinged, cluster B, mentally ill, psychotic, they're throwing the Bible too. So a lot of people think, oh, well, the Bible is better, oh, go to Jesus. Them be the main ones. Them be the main ones, and they will hide behind the Bible. So, I don't want to hear no, oh, that's why witchcraft is bad. That's why, because witchcraft within itself creates more good than evil. I just think that it depends on whose hands it's put in. And I think it depends on why. There's always going to be a reason why. Okay. So, you know, um, if you have an ongoing situation with somebody, it's going to take money. Either money or you need to learn the craft, one or the other. And I think that that's when people have to make a choice between, do you love money more than you love yourself? Do you love money more than you love your peace? Unfortunately, a lot of people are finding out the hard way that paying for cheap spells, hey, Hedge Witch, paying for cheap spells, that doesn't pay off. And I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes people that are offering cheap spells will make the situation worse. I'm just telling the truth. A lot of people wanted to find some kind of bargain-esque way to deal with it, but it's not. If you're paying someone to put themselves and their lives at risk, because that's the way that spirit works, and you can decide, you have every right to decide, well, I don't like this and I don't want to be here. And I've had people feel that way. And you shouldn't let money get you down. Now, the crazy part about it is that when you have an enemy that is mighty, they are attacking your money. They are attacking your spirit. They are feeding off of your spirit. They are invading on your spirit. Exactly. Yeah, I do. But I also think that sometimes the internet uh sometimes the internet is not a valuable source of information. Um, I think you should go with your intuition first. And then if you have any kind of way of being guided at all, you should ask your spirit guides about whoever it is that you're going with. But you have to be careful because you have to be able to interpret. I am a high priestess and I have made mistakes. I have I have been through a lot. I have been in situations where I have a lot where enemies have been able to come to my business. I've tried to help people that had an intention to do harm to me. So I think that it's all about uh I think that you should look at the ethics. I think that people can say, "Oh, I'm a very ethical person and I have integrity," but but everything that they do goes against that. Everything. Like, really? Really? You do? Wow. Nobody can tell cuz yeah. And also another thing, there have been times where I have went under possession, but I'm always under possession by my spirits, never by anyone else's. Never. And my spirits is giving me a much needed break. It's not that I'm taking a break from doing spiritual work. They're giving me a spiritual break from certain energies, for real, to the point where they are just like blasting shit. Like, my spirits are obliterating negative spirits that are being conjured. And it's very, very necessary. Even some people's ancestors that are bad, they got to go, because what's happening is that people will call to spirits and they will call to deities and they will call to God and lie. I didn't believe it until I caught wind of it a couple of years ago. I've had conversations. I'm a medium, okay? I've had conversations with spirits that respectfully left me alone because the spirit was harassing me. I gave it an offering, or the spirit, I don't want to call it it, but I gave the spirit an offering. A lot of the times when it's a negative spirit, I will merely give them water because I could do the other thing, which is to destroy the spirit. And I've had conversations and they said, well, this person lied to me and told me this. And I didn't know. So people will lie. I don't know why people would do that, but because I don't work that way. Yeah, you can give them water. Hell yeah. That was Latin, Hedge Witch. Yeah, you can give spirits water. Hell yeah. They'll take water. If it's a negative spirit that is bothering you, that's why we do seances. It's not just all about going back and forth and saying, I'm going to curse you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a negative spirit, like right now, if it's a negative spirit in this house, you can give them water. You ain't you give strong alcohol. You can give strong alcohol to, it depends on what spirit you're talking about. Like, for example, if I know for a fact that some of the Jamaican spirits, like, they've got some pretty bad spirits that originate in Jamaica, and they take rum. But for the most part, when a spirit is conjured, um, hold on a second. A lot of times when a spirit is conjured, it needs to take what it can get over here. Over here, I don't have to bow down to nobody's spirits. I don't have to bow down to nobody's spirits, and I don't have to do what nobody's spirits tell me to do. So, yeah. But if it's like a particularly negative spirit, I'm talking about spirits. I'm not talking about deities. I'm talking about spirits. But that's the common way of doing it. Okay. Like for example, if we have to do a seance, if it's a negative spirit in your house, I do this all the time, every day. Been doing it for 10 years. Okay. And so if it's a negative spirit in your house, you can light a candle, call that spirit forward to you, and talk to the spirit and say, you need to leave this house right now. And they will leave. Some of them will leave. Some of them you have to force them out. But a lot of times you can ask them nicely to leave and they'll leave. Yeah. Yes, it was definitely. Are you talking about no, it was Latin. Oh, que nefron lay. That's not a curse breaking. That's not a curse breaking. That wasn't Latin. That was a different language. It yeah. That wasn't, I don't even know what language that is. I just know that that is a chant for Azazil. And yeah. So, and it's just something that speaks to me, it connects with me. That is a chant that you can say, the K Nafron Le Vi Galanos Ha Im Taran Shekasna. Yeah. So that is not Latin, no. But I do some of my rituals it are done. Some of the things that I do, I will use Latin. And no, I do not. I can speak Latin. No, I do not know Latin. But I mean, most of us don't. But you can still like interpret Latin. You can use a translator, and it still means the same thing. It's all about your intention. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so you can basically like you can hold a seance for a negative spirit and ask it to leave. So this is traditionally the way that it is done. Okay, some of them, and you can make them an offering of water. Water is a gateway. Be and you can banish a spirit with water. You can trap spirits with water, which is regular old tap water that's blessed. Some negative spirits only respond to holy water or blessed water. Witches can make holy water and blessed water. If you're a witch, you can do that. Can you go back? I think your mic didn't pick up what the name was when you mentioned the language where you said it was a chant to some being. Azazil. Azazil. I don't know why the mic didn't pick it up, but that's a chant for Azazil. Yeah. AZA, it can be spelled different ways. AZAZEAL, AZAZEL. Yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying. What were we talking about? If you have like an ongoing spiritual war with somebody, and it depends on what type of spirits that they are in, like for example, if you're in a spiritual war with somebody that has a lot of sick spirits, spirits of poverty, very low vibrational spirits that is on them, you better be careful, because it can take them a minute, but they can tear you down. I speak from personal experience. I can be very honest about that. I have had spiritual warfare, because even you can have spiritual warfare with a person that's not a witch. It ain't just a witch. It can be anybody. And you can be in a spiritual warfare with them. And they can, no, you're fine, sweetie. You're fine. It's okay. Actually, I love when y'all ask questions. So that's fine, sweetie. Don't worry about it. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate your questions and your feedback. Um, it's, yeah, if you have like a ongoing situation with somebody that has a lot of lower vibrational spirits, yeah, they can wreck your income. They can cause job loss. They will cause loss of health. And those are some of the main ones that are running around here starting shit with people because, in general, they just don't feel well. And you don't have to feel like life is over. You don't, listen, don't let nobody get you down. I I have to coach my clients a lot on that because they will come to me and they'll have an enemy that is just like it's just this stuff is just goofy. It's just real goofy. Like that's the only way I can describe it. It's really out of control, just very chaotic. Well, I know that for myself and most people, okay, most people that I come across are like my clients, they are very similar to me. They just want stability in their lives. Okay. And yeah, I manifested that. I did. It wasn't, and I had to fight for it. Nobody wants to be just running from pillar to post all over the freaking place. One minute they okay, the next minute they feeling some type of way. A lot of my clients are mediums. A lot of my clients are empaths. There is a lot of supernatural spiritual activity going on throughout the world as we balance a lot of this stuff out since the great shift that happened and people being overzealous with some of the things that they're doing. And so, but a lot of you guys, even though you can feel spirits, you can see spirits, you can pick up on them, you don't want bad spirits coming to you. You don't want that. Yeah. Uh that Azazil chant, to me, what it represents, what it does for me, what I felt from saying that chant is it, first of all, I feel like it may be it's connected with the Kundalini. And then also I feel that it does various things. I feel that it connects you very quickly to your Kundalini. I feel that it also provides some kind of shield from dark enemies, especially enemies that are conjuring very bad spirits against you. And then also I feel like it's great for psychics. And then if you are given any kind of favor from Azazil, if you work with Azazil, if Azazil is, because sometimes, and I know that a lot of people don't want to accept this because there, every once in a while there's one thing that I use from the Bible, right? It's just one thing. I'm not going to say what it is, and it ain't Psalms, okay? But there's one thing that I use from the Bible, even though I'm being encouraged to do more from the Bible when it comes to Psalms. But I feel inclined not to do that because it makes me feel like a hypocrite. It makes me, because I'm a witch. And so out of respect, that's the way that I choose to do things. Okay. I know that a lot of hoodoo practitioners are not going to understand that, but I am who I am and it always works for me. But some of us, people will sick demons on us, make friends with them. That's how I feel about it. Or a lot of people can already be connected to a lot of the goetic demons. And to me, it ain't nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of people that are scared. I know that there, especially a lot of my own people, black folk, they scared to death of the whole thing with Lilith. They don't know Lilith. They get their information from people that lie to them. A lot of them are struggling with themselves. I can promise you that Lilith has done so much for me. Like, it ain't even about the money. It ain't about money. It ain't about money. In fact, that ain't what it's about. But I can tell you that a lot of the spell work, a lot of the wisdom, but I mean, I don't just work with one, I'm not into monotheism or whatever, but she's like at my root. Okay. So, well, and you know what? That's understandable, but I think that it's, to me, it's all a part it's all a part of rolling with the punches. And I guess it would have to depend on, who you are. But it's very difficult to explain to people why I maintain a relationship with what we call the underworld, and it is because I get favors. That's one of the reasons why some of these curses and hexes don't actually get broken off of people. Because there's all sorts of things that happen, and so this is when you're putting in your favors. So I like to go directly to the source. It isn't always the underworld that you're dealing with. It's people, it's spirits. And so that's my reason. People look at me like I'm a bad person because of that. And you know what? Do what you got to do. Go to somebody else and you can see that the situation ain't going to get better. Okay? You can see that because I have had to deal with a high level of dark energy. And so there are a lot of people that deal with that high level of dark energy. And so I'm able to negotiate respectfully. And then also another thing, I have my own spiritual beliefs. So I don't have a problem. I think that people are too much. I personally think that it's very ignorant that every bad thing that happens, people automatically go, the devil, the devil, the devil. That to me, that's ignorant. It is, and so, but anyway, getting back into to finish out because I gotta call somebody back here. Yeah, Hecate is separate from Lilith, but Lilith, the other name that Lilith goes by is Anana. So to me, Anana is Lilith. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think that people feel better about calling to Anana, but Anana is actually Lilith. Okay. Same deity. And she's not a demon. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult to explain, like, who Lilith really is. I think that if you know her, you have to know her within your heart. To me, Lilith is a very fair person, very loving, the absolute epitome of unconditional love. You know what I mean? Did you really? Okay. Interesting. So, an ongoing spiritual war A lot of people have been at spiritual war their whole life. And so you don't really know the difference. Here's what I want to say about that. It wasn't until I came out of the broom closet was when the trouble started. Otherwise, when I found myself as a witch, it was the most peaceful, most loving, embracing experience that was also very healing. Especially when you're dealing with deities like Hecate. Hecate will heal you of a lot of stuff. Just that whole thing. She's very healing. It's a very healing place. It's not a dark place. And what I found is that a lot of people, when they come over to witchcraft, and see, that's why I'm gatekeeping witchcraft, period. I'm protecting it, like just the whole gamut of it, because people often associate witchcraft with being rebellious, with being bad, with getting vengeance. And it's not, because a lot of people around me, when they found out, they got paranoid and started attacking me, even people in my family. And I'm like, you're my family. I would never do anything to harm you. But I think that it was because some family members that I couldn't trust actually were the ones that reacted. That's literally what I found out. Like, perhaps I can't really trust you, because why would you automatically assume that why would somebody do that? So for me, coming into myself as a witch, that I wouldn't, and it's crazy because people make up their own assumptions. And for me, it was a place of healing. It was a place of love. It had nothing to do with contempt, and people assuming, oh, you're angry about something, you're going to get back at me for something. Well, maybe it's because you're up to no good. Maybe your position in my life is no good. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why you're paranoid about me practicing, because my practice has nothing to do with you. And then also, it was my individual journey in life that, has nothing to do with my mama, my daddy, my cousins, my auntie. It don't have nothing to do with that. It doesn't. It had everything to do with my path in life, right? My path and what I'm supposed to do. So a lot of people couldn't grasp that, and that's why people will turn away from you when you start practicing, which it can be very hurtful. The feeling that you get, especially if you're a very empathic and psychic witch, the feeling that you can get when people treat you like that is, it feels like you're at a big ass funeral, like you're mourning everybody, because everybody is looking at you like something is wrong. And then a lot of y'all feel like, damn, were these people ever my family? You know what I'm saying? Or was this person ever my friend? Because they judge you because of that. But yeah, I'm gatekeeping witchcraft. And the reason why is because people that want to do harm, people that want to damage others because they need to heal themselves, will often adapt to witchcraft so that they can just go out and attack random people. They think they can do whatever they want to do to people. Oh, now that I've got witchcraft, I've got the power to hurt people, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to lie on somebody, and I'm going to cast a spell or call a demon to protect me. I'm going to try to ruin somebody's life, and I'm going to call to something to protect me. Oh, I can do whatever I want now. I can take this out and do vengeance against everybody. And no, you can't, just because you practice the craft. Yeah. I mean, if they're not a witch soul, then it won't work regardless. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right about that. They just end up hurting themselves. Seriously. And I think that people that do a lot of dark like that and want to hurt people, because I can tell you that I heal people. I healed myself, I healed my family, I healed I heal people. And so doing bad things was the furthest from my mind, and I just cannot stand it when people want to use it as a tool of terrorism, which is why I don't that's why I'm not going to let people get me triggered, because people, I'm already misunderstood enough and people will think, they'll start to get it confused, like, oh, well, you must be the bad guy. So, I don't have to come on here every other day and say, hey, I'm gonna curse you, I'm gonna curse you, I'm gonna curse you. That done got old. Yeah, but yeah, you're right about that. So, I'm reconnecting with my positive spirits, because witchcraft has a lot of positivity. And I can't stand when people represent it in a very negative way. That irritates me. It does. So that's why I'm gatekeeping. But, when it comes to spiritual warfare and the money that you pay, you're going to get what you pay for. If your enemy has been conjuring vagrant spirits, if your enemy has been coming by your house, sprinkling poverty dust in your house, and the next thing you know, you can't pay your rent. Next thing you know, you behind on your bills. Next thing you know, something going on. You got to understand that you have a choice. Either you're going to protect your investments, you're going to protect yourself from that, or not. And it's a lot of that going on. And a lot of you guys don't realize that that is a part of the deception, right? So, it's apparently it must be something that's going around. Apparently, no, I'm not a hoodoo witch. Mm-mm. No, I would say that I connect more so with voodoo than hoodoo, but no, I'm not a hoodoo witch, even though I'm eclectic. So I have roots in hoodoo, I have roots in voodoo, I have roots in Norse paganism, I have roots in Native American healing magic, and I also have roots in very dark Japanese. Okay. It, it's watered down a whole lot by my African lineage, of course, but I am eclectic. And so for me, when I'm doing work, there's some workings that just work. No, voodoo's not a religion. I don't see it as a religion. I don't even see hoodoo as a religion. You don't have to look at anything as a religion. You don't have to look at it that way. I don't look at I don't look at it that way. Mm-mm. It's not that I practice voodoo. Some of the reason why I say that is because some of the workings that I do, when I look at it, I'll say this strangely, I'll try to identify what I've done. Like I've got some stuff sitting here right in front of me. It strangely resembles hoodoo or voodoo, like what you would expect it to look like. So I'm just going by sight. I'm not going to show it, but so I'm not into labels like that, and I don't feel that people have to be. I do what my intuition tells me to do. Let's put it like that. So I haven't ever sat down and been taught by some hoodoo person. Nobody has ever taught me witchcraft, ever. Ever. I've never sat down and been taught to do things a certain way. I've never been anybody's understudy. I've never been anybody's apprentice. So I practice the way that I practice, and it's a lot. And I've been trying to train myself to start writing things down, in my book, to keep track of it. But it's very difficult because it's just I've been very, very busy. But I go with what's in my intuition. Like if my intuition tells me to take a lemon, split it open, put some salt down in it, stuff a person's name in it, that's what I'm going to do. Stick some pins in it. That's what I'm going to do. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm just using that as an example. So you don't have to do that. That's what eclectic is, And then you may have to correct me or remind me of what it means when you just kind of intuitively do what comes to mind. Right, but that souring spell also can be used in other practices, Hedge Witch. And it yes, thank you. I was thinking the same thing, Hedge Witch. So let me just say this real quick. It's all about your intention. Okay. So the spell that I just mentioned is not to sour anybody's life. No, it's to clear that person's energy the hell away from me and to remove whatever obstacle or whatever they're doing. Okay. But I will tell you that there are so many other cultures that use that same spell. That's not just hoodoo. That's not, I don't agree with that. Witches have been using lemons of all cultures for dozens, like literally like since the beginning. So that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with a lot of that stuff, and I don't contend with it. I really don't. I don't like it when people try to say, "Oh, I identify this as that or that is this." No, no. Witches use lemon grass, lemons, lemon juice, lemon seeds, lemon pulp, dried lemons, and it's a lot of debate in a lot of spiritual communities about that, which I don't like to involve myself with. Okay, but no, I wouldn't do that to sour somebody's life. I would do that to get them the hell away from me because a lemon can be used as purification. So if I want to purify somebody's energy off of me, and then also there's another thing that if I feel like I'm dealing with like a psychic vampire, I will take a lemon and I will put that person's photograph in the lemon with some garlic and bind it up to banish that person away from me. So I don't, yeah, I don't, it's not for souring. I just want you to get the hell away from me. You know what I'm saying? I don't just go around trying to sour people's lives. I don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be considered to be a root work, but I'm gonna tell you something. When it comes to hoodoo, and I think that a lot of people that are in hoodoo gatekeep hoodoo a lot. Uh, you know, and that's fine. I am not involving myself with that. I just don't do it because I do work for everybody. I don't limit myself to just the African American community. My clients are of all different races, colors, shapes, sizes, lengths, and everything. So I don't, I'm pretty much universal. I am. But, I didn't do that to sour anybody. It's all about intention. I just want that person's energy the hell away from me. That's all. Oh, you've studied? Okay. Well, a lot of it is really intent. It is. And so, yeah, a lemon can sour somebody's life, but a lemon can also cleanse. There's sometimes I'll slice up lemons and put them in my bath and they cleanse you. Hmm. So, and then here's another thing that I don't do is I don't stick with just one. ancestry. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't belong to nobody. I belong to myself. And that's really why I'm a Satanist at the end of the day. Can't nobody say, oh, well, you're supposed to be doing this or you're supposed to be doing that. I had somebody come and tell me that I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Like, I am. Why are you saying that? Because of the way I look? Or just because you just want to say that? So yeah, it's all about intention. It is. So I don't try to purposely sour nobody's life. Now, if somebody doing something to me, I might put some chaos in your shit. Like, oh, you got time? You got some time to mess with me and really? Oh, okay. But do I mean bloodline? I don't that I don't my magic I don't have to choose. I don't and I don't care about any of that. I don't That doesn't matter to me. I'm an eclectic witch, or I guess you could call me a chaos magician, like what you said. Which would describe chaos magic. It's when you ancestry. When I say ancestry, I don't mean bloodline. I mean like so in this particular incarnation, I have a mixture of African American, Irish white in my blood, Native American, and Japanese. So that's what I mean by ancestry. And the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of my workings and the way that I do things and the energies that I get, it will look a certain way. It will look like hoodoo, just like you said that the lemon spell is hoodoo. To me, it's not necessarily hoodoo. So I don't really necessarily contend with one thing. Now, I will tell you that I do pick up on certain deities. I have deities and spirits come to me all the time. Like there's sometimes, Papa Legba will come to me. There's like I've had those experiences, and they all know how I am, and I don't believe that they have a problem with me. I think that there are people in the spiritual community that have a problem with me, and I don't care. I don't care about their problem with me. You know why? Because they are not God. They are not my God. And they can't tell me how to practice. As long as I'm not doing anything to harm them, it shouldn't matter. And they can't tell somebody, oh, you're doing it wrong. I found that when it comes to my magic, when I listen to my intuition, my current intuition, because of the root work elements being first historically seen from the Afro Caribbean traditions of voodoo and then later hoodoo. Yeah, well, you know, it's a huge debate. There are some people that are told that they can't use white sage. I don't get into that stuff. I really don't. I don't have time. I don't. I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that what people need to more so focus on is people that are, you know, I think we need to focus more so on the scams and some of the knowledge that certain people have and the things that they try to do. I think that I think that to me, it's a useless argument and debate. I do. I really do. I think it's another distractor, you know, that's Native American stuff. Yeah. And see, that, yeah, see, yeah, I've seen people that are white that use white sage, and they get along fine. And so a lot of people can say, well, that's because they're white and everything happens just automatically for white people. White people are always, they're white people are going to always be okay. And so of course that, well, no, we're talking about spirit, because I believe that if they were actually forbidden from using it, they would have a lot of problems. So I don't get into that. How do I go about working with an ancestor? It's just my intuition tells me who to call to. When I call to my ancestors, they will answer. And according to what it is that I do, you can pretty much tell which ancestor has came to me to help me, or to assist me, or to guide me. But to be honest with you, like I got my grandmother's picture and my great grandfather. I have my grandmother's picture and her father's picture sitting right in front of me right now. So a lot of that is guided by my grandmother and her father. And when I call to them, everybody, any, people that, energies and ancestors that don't even look like my grandmother show up sometimes, you know, because my grandmother, I believe that she was mainly Native American and Ethiopian. I don't really, it doesn't matter to me, you know, what it is. I just know that it's African. But my grandfather, which was her husband, um, Adolf. Okay, my grandfather's name was Adolf Briscoe. On his side of the family was where you found more Native American, Japanese, and white Irish on that side of the family. But then again, when I work with my ancestors, it ain't just my ancestors from this incarnation. I tap into ancestors from lifetimes ago, because you don't have to just have ancestors in your family, in your current bloodline. You can tap into ancestors that are very, very old and go way back. So I don't just, it ain't just, sometimes I tap into my cosmic ancestors that are way out. I feel like I have a connection with Andromeda, which is also the spiral galaxy. Um, so I don't just, I don't, yeah. So the witch ancestors that I have tapped into, the Japanese cat lady, which I'm scared, like that's really literally the only one of my ancestors that I know about that I am scared shitless of, is the Japanese cat lady. And I know I'm connected with her. Other ancestors, I look at, really honestly, I look at Lilith as an ancestor. I look at Hecate as an ancestor. I look at Yemaya as an ancestor. You know what I'm saying? But I'm different from a lot of people. Like 20 years ago, I was so in tune with my body that the moment I got pregnant with all of my children, I knew I was pregnant. The moment of conception, I could feel it. So here I am, more than 20 years later. More than 20 years later, I can feel things that are connected with myself, that are far beyond this planet. So, I you know, but it's like witchy ancestors, the Baba Yaga is one of them. The owl lady is another one of them. Um and there's many, and I can see why. I can see why. I can see why there's so many. You know, you can tell by just the craziness that happened in social media. Like I'm sitting up here like, am I Michael Jackson? Why are people stalking me? Am I like, who am I? You know, why am I being stalked like I'm a celebrity? I think that I have had more problems in social media than anybody that I've ever seen in my life. And that is a fact. And it just doesn't make any sense because I don't even get that many views and I still got stalkers. It's very bizarre. And so I'm appreciative to have connection just literally there when I need it because, you know, I don't like to call to the Baba Yaga, but when I do, mm-mm, nope. So, yeah, anyway, a lot of you guys that have an ongoing spiritual war, you have to understand that these are people that what they do is they're trying different things. And I've noticed that a lot of you guys, speaking of being stalked, a lot of you guys are being spiritually harassed and stalked. I've already done that. I've already done that. A boundary spell and cloaking spells. I've already done that. Yeah. For the most part, I do avoid stalkers. How this lady came up to my porch the other night, I believe that drugs had something to do with it, and I believe that it was a drug addict. Drug addicts will do anything because she looked like a drug addict. She acted like a drug addict. In fact, her lips was all bubbly and bumpy. If you guys pay attention to that video, so that was a drug addict. Drug addicts don't care about themselves. So somebody told her to do that, and that's bad for her. That's really bad for her. You know what I'm saying? But maybe I will try like a specific boundary spell, but my house is protected, you know, and people can try it, but they're not like they're yeah. Well, it is what it is. I'm not going to question my ancestors and my practice and say, oh, well, you know, what I did wasn't good enough. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I feel that people are desperate. I don't, okay, if we're going to say that, we might as well say that people shouldn't still be stalking me. We might as well say that this crazy old biddy online shouldn't still be lying on me, trying to make me look bad and the stuff that she did. Why did that happen? Am I going to say that it's something wrong with my practice or that I don't trust my spirits? No, I would never allow a crazy, stupid, deranged person to make me feel as though I'm unprotected. So I'm not worried about her. She need to be worried about herself. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay. My spirits know exactly what they doing and I trust them. So I'm not worried about it. It's times when I sleep with my door unlocked and ain't nobody came up in here. So I'm not worried about her. I'm not worried about the crackheads that did it. I think that when people are on drugs or either crazy, they're deranged. You know what I'm saying? And she looked like an entire zombie. And so it was a small sacrifice to have to go out there and smoke out my porch after she left, throw down some salt, throw down some ammonia and some eggshell powder. So it ain't that big of a deal. Okay. But yeah, people shouldn't be able to just share my photos. It's all about a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when you have somebody that is stalking you and trying to spiritually abuse you, what those people will do is they will try something every single day because they got time. A lot of people that are doing that, that's all they have time for. They have time to constantly harass you. and maybe they don't have anything else to do. So what they'll do is they'll try to conjure different spirits. I think that finding an appropriate binding working for them is a good thing to do. Okay. Um, and so, but technically, certain things, it just is what it is. But what they'll do is they'll bring in new people. They'll add new people. You got covens out here. You got the Freemasons out here. You got a lot of stuff going on. I feel like I've done pretty good for being one person battling hundreds of people, because whatever it is that I got, they want it and they not going to get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never get it. Whatever it is that I got, because I don't get it. And my spirit guides came through and said, they said, you special. You have a lot of power and energy and connection. And those people apparently don't have it. They can pretend that they have it. They can pretend, they can front, but they really don't have it. And I found myself getting people doing vampiring off of me too, and then sending people to try to vampire off of me. And so a lot of that stuff is like literally cut out. I had a false friend, a faux friend, a few years ago that sent somebody to me as well. So people are doing all kind of stupid, crazy stuff. That's going to be all on them. I don't feel intimidated by anybody. I don't care about what race you are. I don't care about what you look like. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't have to. I'm one of the people in this world that has the strongest faith. So I believe in what I do. Oh, that it wasn't meant for it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly. First of all, that lady that came by here, I believe that she's been somebody that has been watching and stalking me for probably quite a few years, because of that stupid early death sector. So that person came from the early death sector. I know that for a fact, and I ain't even talking about her no more, to be honest with you, because it's I ain't even been thinking about her. But pretty much what she did was she came over here and she got blessed. She got touched by an angel, and she probably gonna have to go through what she go through. Okay, she can't nobody cause me no harm. What harm did she do? She didn't do me no harm. She did herself more harm than she did me, because she's gonna go through hell for coming to my house. So I'm not worried about that. And then plus we're gonna be moving like in a few, I ain't gonna say when, but we're gonna be moving. And what I'm more concerned about, to be honest with you, and I can say this right now, is that when I move, making sure that I'm not being followed. That's my spirits are going to cause hell in people's lives that try to follow me when I move. They car gonna break down, they gonna get sick, they not gonna be able to find out where I'm at. Okay, because a business is a business. My address is not going to be in the public anymore because of certain people and their associations with crazy people. That chick wasn't nobody. She wasn't nobody to fear. She was not actually a threat. She tried to present herself as a threat. And as you can see, did I start screaming at her? Did I go grab my crowbar? I just kindly asked her to leave my home. And, the sad part about it is that she possibly could use some help, but she's too far gone. So that lady is cursed. Like, she allowed herself to be seen. Whoever she is, she allowed herself to be seen. So am I worried about some ghetto crackhead coming by my house, shooting up my house? No, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. They just assume turn them bullets on themselves first before that ever happens. So, she sealed her fate for a long time. And really it's so stupid. It's really so stupid and petty that, maybe nothing has to happen to her, but she needs to learn a lesson for being involved and listening. Basically what the early death sector does is they tell a bunch of lies, and you got people that are not intuitive enough to pick up on the lies. They can't pick up on a lie from a truth. So yeah, the early death sector has an issue with me because they're pedophiles. They hate black women. They hate children. They hate anybody that's happy, and they hate anybody that is successful. They hate you because of that in the early death sector. So that's why old girl came by here. And yes, they did have something to do with it. I don't care what their yuck mouth leader says. They're ignorant and stupid. They came by here to fish for information because they can't figure out why they can't get me put out of my house because they are petty and dumb. And I'm not discussing my personal business with nobody. It's none of their business. They already know too much. They're not going to be divulged any more of my personal information ever again because nobody knows my personal business. Nobody. They can't even get it from a third party. So that was called I'm crazy. I might have smoked some drugs and I'm being nosy. Because really, to be honest with you, the people that are in the early death sector, they're stalking me for nothing, or either they're stalking me for their own demise. Okay, but I'm not talking about that. Let's not derail the conversation. I wanted to come on here and talk to people. Like honestly, Hedge Witch, with all due respect, I'm not I'm not even talking about that lady. That lady ain't shook nobody over here. She ain't shook nobody over here. Is if you notice my reaction to her when I showed y'all the video, you need to leave my house. It wasn't blah blah blah. She didn't get no reaction out of me like that when she was here. Now it does piss me off that dumb sector, and they'll find out how dumb they are. Trust me. They already know how dumb. Well, maybe they don't know how dumb and stupid they are, but it's dumb and stupid. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. Back to the last thing that I want to say, and I gotta go because I got somebody summoning me. Okay. Listen, people that are obsessive, they are weaker than you. They are. But they still can be very dangerous. And then when you mix that with witchcraft, then you can have a problem. And that's not to say that stupid and crazy people can't cast spells that will work, especially if you have a group of them, if you have a coven, or if you have, I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down, anybody that has a coven that is dumb enough to be attacking you and you have done nothing to them, you already won. Nobody respects a coven that is bullies. I don't respect them. I don't see them as strong and powerful. I see them as exactly who they are. There's nobody in social media or in this world besides maybe perhaps your mama or your elders, but even with them, if they not right, you are your own person. You have spirit guides, you have spiritual mothers, fathers, you have spiritual godmothers and fathers. If those people are abusive, if those people are not serving your divine purpose, if those people ain't no good, it doesn't matter. Nobody has the right to degrade you, to try to make you a slave, to try to dominate over you, to try to make you who they want you to be. And that's exactly the kind of things that I have seen. People that think that they are something special, that they control and run everybody. That ain't it. Because especially some of these people out in social media, you don't know me. Okay? You don't know me. I don't know you. I have no connection with you. There are some people, to me, I feel like I'm already mentally your superior when you have a negative connection with me and you are stuck on a parasocial situation. That's a boundary. Okay. As you can see, these people don't have boundaries and they're all black. A lot of them are black, not all of them, but a lot of them are black. And that's a serious problem in the black community. It is. So if I were not a black person, a black woman, and this was not a black household, that chick wouldn't have showed up at my house. Okay. Yesterday I had to talk to at least three different white folks. They was all very respectful to me. When you look at your own, and they're the all skin folk ain't kin folk. And that is the direct truth. And so that it's sad, it's very sad when you have a situation like that and when black women see being a witch or practicing the craft as a means of demeaning one another, trying to subjugate one another, taking their anger out on one another, and trying to take advantage of, traffic, and even exploit one another. It's disgusting. I have all sorts of African and Native American ancestors running up and through here, and they do not respect that. They do not. Okay. And so you can't, like a lot of black people, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, I'm black and we got a history in slavery. So that means that I got the right to raise hell with everybody. Or I got the right to be angry, or looking at me as if I'm your kicking post or something. That's what they'll do, and it's disgusting. I'm not impressed. Show me that you can actually heal somebody, then I'll be impressed. Show me that you can actually bless somebody's life, then I'll be impressed. Otherwise, I'm not impressed. Show me that you can lift your people up. Show me that you can lift anybody up, including yourself, then I'll be impressed. All I see running around here is a bunch of angry, overly emotional people that are trying to take out their anger on others that have unresolved issues, hating, jealous of people. You don't have to have the perfect body, or the perfect face for people to be jealous of you. People are jealous for different reasons. People are hateful and vindictive for different reasons. And it's a lot of that going on. And you ain't nobody to me. A lot of these people want you to refer to them as God. I'll show you God. I'll show you who God is. You want to know who God is? Because, I can call you goddess out of respect, but at the end of the day, you don't run me, and I'll show you. So I don't play that kind of mess. So somebody showing up at somebody's house, that's just like I had a chick a few years ago that pulled up at my house acting stupid and crazy, embarrassing, ghetto hood boogery crap. Talking about, I'm going to shoot 16 rounds in your house. That don't make you powerful. And then tried to do that to prove that my spells don't work. Since when would I need to cast a spell to keep you from shooting bullets into my house? When have I ever had anybody threaten to shoot my house? Not ever. I don't live like that. You're low-lifed it, you're vagabonds, you're vagrants, and you need to be locked up in jail. A lot of these people need to be in jail for the stuff that they do. So somebody coming and trying to fight you, that doesn't make them more powerful. That just makes them ignorant and low. Okay. And that means that they have no magic. You have no magic when you're in a spiritual war with somebody and you have to show up at their house. That means that your magic failed. Their magic didn't fail, your magic failed. Okay. I'm currently communing with one of my ancestors. She says she's getting information about you, so please don't attack her when she shows up. You talking about over here? Ain't nobody's ancestors allowed over here. Are you trolling me, Hedge Witch? You seem like you trolling me. You seem like a very slick, sophisticated troll. Trolls are kind of sophisticated. Ain't nobody's ancestors allowed in my house. And if she gets attacked, it's because my spirits felt like she was doing something. No, I am not wide open. First of all, we all know that in the South, we all know that on YouTube, there's a hate group against Black women. They want Black women to be unprotected. They want us to be broke. They want us to be sick. They want us to be fucked up. I am very protected. Very. Okay. So nobody's ancestors can just show up at my house. Nobody's welcome like that. No. Okay. I don't need nobody's help. That's the people, I think it's crazy that who needs the help is the people that are stalking me. Do you not understand that these people have an unhealthy obsession that's going to kill them? I don't ever sit in my house in fear ever. I'm never in fear. You see what I'm saying? So I don't need for nobody to send their ancestors to my house. Sorry. Okay. With all due respect, no thank you. I have my own ancestors, and my ancestors protect me just fine. Keep in mind, I'm 46 years old. I've been on this earth for 46 years. No bruises, no cuts, no gunshot wounds. And here's another thing. Don't judge me based upon these stupid, ignorant, crazy hood boogers in social media. These are people that are willing to do anything for attention. They're an embarrassment. So I don't take them seriously. Do you really take that seriously? Like, yeah, old girl did get fucked up. She did get cursed for showing up at my house. Yeah, she's going to be hexed. Otherwise, she can move on with her sad, miserable life. Otherwise, nobody takes any of these people seriously on YouTube. I just spoke about this the other day. In fact, right now, I'm not even talking about these ignorant people in social media. These are people that are begging for attention constantly, like little sad children. Okay, see, I knew this was a troll. Okay. All right, y'all. I knew that was a troll. They were very slick, slick troll. That's that stupid sector. You know what? Listen, sector. None of y'all are witches. Okay, stop. I don't even know why y'all even call yourself witches. Y'all are an embarrassment. You would be an embarrassment to any witchy community. Okay. Y'all are an embarrassment. Quit coming up in here. Yes, I did receive a loan from the SBA. Is that against the law? Doing that? I have a legitimate business that I claim on my taxes every year. So as long I have a legitimate business that I've been claiming on my taxes since 2015. So yeah, if you ran a small business during the time that they were doing the PPP loans, yeah, you could very easily get a loan from the SBA. What difference does it make? You people in the early death sector, y'all don't need to be watching spiritual people. Who y'all need to go to is a therapist. And I'm going to say that quit trying to derail my lives that I do. Okay. It's not, listen, your life was shit before I came along. Don't try to blame me. That's why y'all keep coming around. That's why y'all keep harassing people, because your life gets worse while mine's gets better. Okay. So we all know that y'all still hating because, $10,000. Y'all, boy, y'all thinking about all the drugs and the Nike tennis shoes that y'all can buy with $10,000. That's why I don't claim any of y'all. That's why I don't like any of y'all. Since when is it a bad thing? Since when? You know why it's a bad thing and why your sector made a big deal about that? It's because y'all broke and y'all are mad and jealous and angry at anybody that has more than you. And y'all need to get y'all lives together before y'all get raptured. That's all I got to say. Okay. We're going to have this discussion a little bit later. I have a client that's been waiting for me to get back with her. So we'll continue this discussion a little bit later on today. Okay. And by the way, every time you people do something, the FBI will be reported. Eventually, all of you will be in prison. Y'all take hating to a whole new level. This is embarrassing. You are an embarrassment to the Black community. I don't claim y'all. Quit coming around here trying to get attention. No one cares about y'all. In fact, I'm going to go take that video down with that woman's picture because I don't do things like that. Okay, I'm going to keep her photograph for my records, which I don't really have to continue keeping it. Y'all don't know anything about witchcraft. You're not real witches. You're just a bunch of ignorant, angry, sad people in that sector that needs to get y'all shit together. Y'all don't reflect me at all. You're not a reflection of me. You don't define me is what I want to say. You don't define me. Okay. So I don't care about y'all like that. I really don't. I don't care about you enough to care. Okay. Yes, I did speak about your sector earlier. I'm going to continue to say whatever I want to say. Shut the fuck up and learn something. Y'all all too ignorant. Y'all all ignorant. Y'all need to shut y'all mouths and open up your ears is what you need to do. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming, sis and Christian, the emo witch. I will see y'all later. Okay. We'll talk about this later. Okay. All right, y'all. Blessings. Bye bye.